Hi, it's Chantel from Fiberific here. How has your week been going? Mine's been chaotic and mental and fun. I've been busily working on the YouTube Happy Together project from Boo Knits. It's going to be the major prize for my Bendigo customers who come and visit me at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show in July. If you want to follow along with the progress of this shawl, I've posted photos in my Ravelry project page. Links are below, you can just follow those and have a look. This last week has just been so busy. I was working on the shawl as well as a pile of bits and bobs for my daughter's school fete. I posted some photos of some of the things I'd finished up on my social media and I've gotten a lot of questions, so I thought that this week's video could be based on what I was working on there. I worked on, I did some tea towel toppers, which I'm not going to show today, but I also did some Tunisian crochet. I just made some of these gorgeous face washes, which this one's not finished, but these, they're really thick and soft. They're these lovely spa face washes. So they're just a straight out Tunisian simple stitch. I'm going to show you how to do now. Now, this one here is 30 stitches across using a 5.5mm Tunisian hook and Bendigo 10 ply cotton. If you're using some of the peaches and cream cotton that comes out of the US, I'd go up to a 6 or a 6.5mm. The Bendigo cotton is a bit finer. Now, Tunisian crochet is very different to normal crochet, just in that you end up with a lot of live stitches. So the length of your hook actually denotes how many stitches you can hold generally. So this is a 9-inch hook that I've been using on the face washers, but if you wanted to make something larger than a face washer, I've got these wonderful 13-inch hooks. They're very light because they're made out of bamboo. These are all from Chiagu. But then sometimes you want something longer. If you want to make a Tunisian blanket, like one of those really cool thermal cotton blankets that you can get, then you can get these hooks, which is just a hook, but it has this lovely cable and a stopper on the end, so you can't see it all on screen. But this one in particular is 32 inches, so it's 80 centimeters long. So you could do 2 of those wide or even one of those and scrunch it up, and you'd probably get a single bed width out of that. Okay, so first things first is we're going to make one of these little 10 centimeter squares. Okay, 10 stitch squares, I should say. I'm personally going to see how these go for makeup pad removers. So it's 10 chain wide. Now I like to try and have these little loop edges all the way around, just for a little bit of continuity. Now it just means that there's an extra step or two in our process, but I think it makes a nicer finished item. So we start by making a slip knot and then making sure we're not crocheting with our tail. We chain 10 because we're just going to do 10. So 1. Now we don't want them too tight. Okay, now we have our V's at the front, but we're going to crochet into the little knobs on the back. Okay, now this creates this nice little edge here. Oops, this nice little edge that matches the opposite side. Okay, so you don't have to crochet into the little nubs, but it does make it so that it's even. So we're going to go in here. You might need to give it a little bit of help. Make sure you get all your strands, especially if you're using Bendigo cotton. It's just a little bit splitty. It's because it's a bit softly spun, which actually for us in this particular project, if you're making the face washer, is perfect because we love the softness of it. It also works up really nice for blankets as well. Come on, little bump. There we go. It's a little bit, this is probably the most fiddly part of the entire project. Now, this is the Japanese style of working into your chain. So this is actually quite a standard crochet technique, or a Japanese cast on method. Not quite sure why the Japanese prefer it, but I quite like it because it creates a really nice, neat edge. And one more, last bump. Don't forget the last bump nearest the knot. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We've got 10. Okay, so then what we do is Tunisian crochet is loading, which we've just loaded, and then we need to unload. Now we're working on our foundation row here, so you draw through 1 loop. Now we draw through 2 loops. We draw through 2 loops all the way to the end, like so. Unless you make a little mistake like me, and then you just pull it out. I think I only caught 1 loop. 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Okay, so it looks like this. Now that's our foundation row is complete. Now we're going to work into our first row. So what we're going to do is going to go straight through here like this, then yarn over, then draw the loop through. And we're going to go through the next one, and yarn over and draw the loop through. So we're reloading, we're going to get 10 stitches again. So yarn over and draw the loop through, and yarn over and draw the loop through. I'm sorry, my hands are moving around so much. I didn't realise I moved so much while I worked until I'm trying to video it up close. We keep yarn overing and drawing the loop through. So we're just slipping straight behind this loop. So if you have a look here, it's just the loop, and you just push it, hook behind it, and you drag that loop through that. And you do this one here. Now there is one more loop. It's this little, see this little end here? Believe it or not, we need to work into that as well. So if you turn it on its side, you can see. Now I like to go through the loop, so this loop here and the other loop. I like 2 at the end. It creates a really neat edge. Now we'll do this again so you'll be able to see it again. Okay, so then we yarn over and we draw through 1 at the start, and then yarn over and draw through 2 all the way to the end for the rest of this. And we keep drawing through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, all the way to the end till you've got 1 loop left. And then we're going to go through and pick them up again, and scoop and pick it up. Now by now you'll be getting into a bit more of a rhythm. You can use your fingers to help things along, speed yourself up a little, but you always must remember to not forget the loop at the end, because otherwise you will end up decreasing stitches and you won't end up with your square. So we're at the end again, so turn it over so you can see what we're working on here. And we're going to, so that's what it looks like, and you want to go in here and then push through 2 strands. So see how there's 2 strands on there? So hang on, there you go, 1 and 2, and we want to push through 2, yarn over and draw through the 2. Okay, so see how it's creating this nice little sort of V look up the side? So yarn over, draw through 1, yarn over, draw through 2, all the way to the end. Okay, and then you keep doing this backwards and forwards. Each row has 2 passes. It has your loading up pass where you're drawing the loop through the little notch at the front, and then you're having your unloading pass, and that's coming back and emptying things off where you yarn over and draw through 1 at the beginning and then through 2 for the rest all the way to the end. And you keep doing that until you've got yourself a little square or until you're happy. Now normal crochet, you would just get to the end back to a single loop and just snip your yarn. But it doesn't work that way with Tunisian crochet. It has a little bind off edge. So I've got this one here that's ready to be bound off. And it's very similar to what we were doing. So it's just, you know, I've just done a few more rows here. And you go in like you're going to pick up another row. So you pick one up, you draw through, but then you draw through that one and that one. You do this all the way across. So you insert it in, you draw through that one, whoops, and that one. And you do this all the way across. If you just cut the yarn, then you would have this open section. But now we're going to have a really neat finish like this all the way across. So we're just going to quickly go all the way across like so. Don't forget to get that last one, just like we did on the rest of it. You bring it through 2 strands, bring it up, and then you just pull that through. Now once you've done that, you do just cut it off and draw it through like you would for normal crochet. And that's it. This is how we do this. So I hope you have fun making yourself some of these little Tunisian squares, which you could absolutely use for any kind of project that you like. I think they're actually going to make just great little makeup removing pads. So I've got a couple here now. But these face washes are fantastic, and I do hope that you make one for yourself. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing. It's now time for you to go and fill your universe with fibre fun. Off you go. See you next week.